Before legend shaped his name, before the world called him the last true samurai, Sanada Yukimura was a child, staring out into the snow-covered mountains of Shinano Province. The lands were silent, yet beneath that silence lived a storm, one that would follow him from childhood until his final breath. Born into the Sanada clan, a lineage known not for wealth nor vast armies, but for intelligence, resilience, and defiance, Yukimura grew in a time where survival required calculation more than strength. His father, Sanada Masayuki, raised him differently than other warriors. While other children learned swordplay through repetition, Yukimura learned through strategy. When his brother sparred like a raging current, Yukimura was taught to wait, to observe. Masayuki often said, "A sword is only sharp when the mind is sharper." Yukimura listened. His father drew patterns in sand. Stones became armies. Water lines became borders. Every move was intentional. Every loss was a lesson. Every victory was earned, not given. And in that small courtyard, lit by lantern light, something began forming inside him. Not ambition, not the hunger for glory, but a vow, an internal promise that he would never abandon loyalty, that he would honor his clan even when the world began burning. Time passed, and Japan changed. The great unifier, Oda Nobunaga, had fallen. Toyotomi Hideyoshi rose and hammered Japan into submission under his brilliance and brutality. Then Tokugawa Ieyasu, patient as winter, watched, waited, and prepared to take what remained. Yukimura grew into adulthood inside this shifting world. 3 giants, 1 future, and countless samurai whose names would never be remembered. Yet even then, whispers began. Masa youngest will be the sharpest blade of the Sanada house. He did not chase those whispers, he simply trained. When war surged again, when banners flapped like thunder across distances, Yukimura found himself summoned, not as a spectator, but as a warrior. His first major trial came during the battles surrounding Komaki and Nagakute. Young, untested, his armor not yet worn by conflict, he stepped into a battlefield where dust choked lungs and arrows fell like rain. What he lacked in experience, he made up for in clarity. His spear moved not like a wild man's swing, but like mathematics in motion. Every strike calculated, every step timed. His presence changed the pace of attacks. Soldiers rallied when they saw him move forward. They mirrored his courage. He became both shield and flame, protecting men while igniting momentum. It was this battle that marked the beginning of Sanada Yukimura's name entering the minds of commanders. But the path of greatness is never straight. When the great power struggle erupted in Japan, the Battle of Sekigahara reignited destiny. Swords drawn, armies split, sworn loyalty shattered. It was not war, it was Judgment Day. Whoever won Sekigahara would rule Japan. Whoever lost would vanish. The Sanada clan split. One son sided with the East. Yukimura and his father sided with the West. Some called it betrayal, others called it strategy. But Yukimura knew the truth. The Sanada clan did not kneel easily. Mist fell across the battlefield. Rain turned soil into weight beneath soldiers' feet. Thousands charged through fog thick as grief. Mass formations clashed like metal shaking mountains. Yet the tide shifted, not because of effort, but because betrayal poisoned the air. Allies abandoned their positions. Armies collapsed from within. And as the Western forces fell apart, Yukimura learned the real cruelty of war. You do not lose when the enemy is stronger. You lose when those beside you stop believing. When Sekigahara ended, Tokugawa rose as ruler. Most of Yukimura's allies were executed, heads displayed, names erased. honor stripped from families. But Tokugawa did not kill Yukimura. He said something chilling. He is too dangerous to destroy now. Time will destroy him better. And so, exile came, not by choice, but as a slow death sentence. Yukimura was sent to Kudoyama, a mountain village, far from war, far from armies, far from memory. There, years passed. Snow continued falling on silent rooftops. The outside world moved forward into peace, peace enforced by Tokugawa discipline. Meanwhile, Yukimura drifted between existence and disappearance. But exile did not break him. It sharpened him. He trained silently, alone, beneath snow-laden trees. His armor was untouched but never neglected. Younger warriors visited him secretly. Some came only to kneel before him, not as a commander, but as a symbol that honor had not vanished. When his father passed away, Yukimura stood holding his father's sword. That day, something shifted inside him. Not sorrow, but awakening. Death reminded him his life was not finished. Years later, a night messenger arrived, breath frozen, clothes torn, and he delivered one message: Asuka needs you. The last Toyotomi heir was trapped. Tokugawa moved to erase the remaining spark of resistance permanently. Yukimura's eyes changed, not with rage, but with purpose. He gathered men who still believed, not many, but enough. They descended from exile like a ghost returning from forgotten history. When Asuka Castle's gates opened, warriors shouted his name. Mothers cried upon seeing him. Young men who only heard stories knelt as he walked past. He looked over the fields, the empty plains, the approaching storm of Tokugawa armies, and he did what no commander dared to do. He ordered the construction of fortresses outside the castle, not defensive walls, not waiting positions, but fortresses of defiance. The earth trembled beneath hammers, wood cracked, trenches formed, flags bearing 6 coins, his family symbol, rose. 6 coins meant passage across the river of death. He told his soldiers, "These coins are not payment for death. They are proof that we are willing to cross that river willingly." When winter came, Tokugawa armies advanced. Snow fell without mercy. Rifle smoke froze in the air. Drums thundered from miles away. The siege began. But Yukimura was not waiting. He counterattacked. His red armor, a burning flame in the whiteness, charged through enemy lines. Not as a lord, not as a legend, but as a warrior who believed his existence meant something more than breathing. Many commanders would command from behind. Yukimura stood at the front. His spear swept through armored soldiers with deadly beauty. Horses buckled before him. Gun lines collapsed. And in the middle of that brutal winter, something unbelievable happened. Tokugawa forces retreated. A smaller army, outnumbered, forced back the mightiest force in Japan. For weeks, the world believed Yukimura had turned fate. But power never loses gently. Diplomacy came, false peace, signed agreements, walls dismantled. In the dead of night, political betrayal unraveled everything he had built. Asuka Castle became exposed, a wound without shield. Spring arrived, and with it, Tokugawa returned with overwhelming force. The sky darkened with banners. Thousands advanced. Guns fired until the earth cracked. The castle shook. Children cried. Smoke drowned the horizon. War returned, not as a contest, but execution. And Yukimura knew this was the final stand. He strapped on his armor, not polished, but dented from winter battles. His men gathered, some trembling, some praying, all waiting for his voice. He did not speak of victory. He spoke of honor. When we fall facing forward. When they speak of us, let them say we did not bow. Then he mounted his horse, and the charge began. He led not hundreds, but dozens. Yet dozens under Yukimura struck like armies. He tore through elite guards. Lines broke. Soldiers scattered. The battlefield saw something that would be repeated in tales for centuries. One man pushing deeper into enemy ranks until it looked impossible. He reached the heart of Tokugawa position, covered in blood, exhaustion tightening his chest, yet he refused to step backward. They surrounded him. He could have surrendered. He could have begged. He chose neither. A young soldier approached, hesitant,